Who cares? It doesn't matter. Welcome to the club, everybody. I'll dive into that story, too. All right, you ready? Here we go.
Are you just trying to navigate adulthood in a world that still expects you to have it all figured out? Welcome to This Is 50 with your host, Travis Holmes.
Before we get started, let me address this issue here. So, as you guys are looking here, we have a YouTube channel as well. This is 50 Show over on YouTube, and you can see me here in the studio. And we're working on like multiple camera angles and stuff. So, I'll give you guys something else to look at. You know, you're sitting there with your thumb in your ass. But this guy right here, I'll hold it to this camera, and then it switches to this camera. See, that's how it works. If you're listening to us, welcome. Thank you very much. I have switched just this week only. If you sign up now, if you buy now, no, this week only, I have switched to natural light. Because I guess I drank all the Busch Light, the cases of Busch Light out of the local food line here. Now, I'm not going to buy an 18-pack. No. I got to buy by the case. Got to save money. Money's a big thing. And I saw that all the cases, I've told the story of meeting the guy at Walmart, and he was filling the Busch Light at the Walmart venue, and then 3 or 4 days later, I'm buying it at the local food line, and he's filling that. He's like, "Aren't you the guy?" And I'm like, "Aren't you the guy?" You know, that whole Spider-Man where they point fingers back at each other. "Aren't you that guy? Aren't you that guy?" So my guy didn't show up to this food line this week, and all the 24 packs, the case, what they call a suitcase back in the day, it was completely empty. So I'm like, "Oh well, shit." The only reason why I was buying this is because it was cheap. When you buy 6-7 cases a week, and at $16, $15 if you can find it, it adds up. So I'm sitting there, I literally was like, okay, what am I going to do now? I'm sitting there, and this trip, because normally I just run in, grab 3 cases, and then walk out, pay for it at least. And I said, okay, what am I going to do to myself? You left your phone in the car because you thought you were just going to be in and out real quick. So how do you determine what are you going to buy now? So I'm looking at all the other stuff, and I used to be a Miller Lite man, and then Miller Lite went from, in a matter of like 4 years, like COVID time, went from $16 a case to like $22 a case. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I don't like that shit that much. Hell, you might as well just drink water. Shut the fuck up, moron. And then my dad, he drinks Miller Lite. And so I'm looking at the other ones. My wife drinks, if she drinks beer, she'll drink Mick Ultra. And I'm looking at that, and that's $25 a case. Jesus Christ, Travis. Where do you live where the beer is so expensive? We're just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. So I'm sitting there, and the reason why I chose Busch Light and outside the price was, if you do the ABV comparison between Miller Lite and Busch Light, they both have like 95, 98 calories. They both have, I think it's 4.1% alcohol. I think the carbs are a little bit higher. I think Miller Lite might have like 2.8 carbs, as to where Busch Light has like 3.4 or something like that. So all right, carbs get you there. So when I made the switch from Miller Lite to Busch Light, I kept that in the back of my mind. It's only $16. I'm getting the same amount of beverage. I'm getting where I need to be, is what I'm saying. And so I pen everything out, and I'm like, all right, so I go in today, because I've been drinking the Busch Light for the last 3 years, 2 years, probably 2.5 years now. And I looked in my normal cooler, the girls at Food Line. "Hi, how you doing, Travis? Hi. Your dad was in here earlier." "Really? Did he fall asleep in the aisle?" No, he's all right. We watch him when he's in here. He's okay. We take care of him. Because our Food Line's got like 4 registers. I mean, that's how small our grocery store is. So I go in there. Excuse me, I'm sorry. allergy type stuff. And I look in the case and it's like, bum, 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 bum. There's no Busch Light. So in my mind, I'm thinking in back of my mind, I'm like going, so what am I going to buy now? What am I going to buy now? And I remember I was sitting in a bar. Really? You weren't in church? No, I was sitting in a bar, stopped in, grabbed some like a quick lunch, and I grabbed, they have whatever day it was like 250 Busch Lights. I'm like, all right, I'll stop in. The guy across the bar from me, a big horseshoe bar, was drinking Natural Light. Big biker guy. And there's this motif or thing around Natural Light where it's like cheap ghetto beer. They call it Natty Light. If you get the ice one that's got, I think it's 5.2% alcohol, Natty Ice. Got to get my Natty Ice. Got to get my Natty on. This big biker guy, I'm not going to argue with him. Hey, you're drinking poor beer. Pour this beer on your face. But things are different here in the Carolinas. There are a lot of old school guys that will drink this and not even blink. They'll ride right down the road with it. Pride, proud of it and everything. And I saw this big biker guy, and he was having a couple of them. And I said, well, hold on a second. Now, they don't have Busch Light. What is the actual alcohol here? Now I'm doing math in my head. What is the actual alcohol content in a Natural Light? Because it's the same price as the Busch Light. It's $16.99, $16.99. Apples with apples, right? I look at the Natural Light. Calories, 95. Carbohydrates, 3.2. All right, so a little bit less there. Same price, same calories, same, a little bit less carbohydrates. Alcohol percentage, 4.2. I said, hello? What? Is this my new beer? Is this what I'm going to go with? Is this my new foundation? Now, when I was able to drink, like legally able to drink, I would always get the 6-pack bottles of Natural Light. Now, this is back in, let's see, when did I turn 21? So I was born in 73, so that'd be 94. Let's say 94. Yeah, let's say 94 because that's what it would have been. I would buy a 6-pack of Natural Light in the bottles, the little short bottles, brown bottles, and it was like, no, it wasn't even 5. It was $3.29 for a 6-pack. And I would drink those before we go to the club. I'd drink 6 of them real fast, of course, puke because of the carbonation, and I'm not a trained professional yet. But we always looked at Natural Light as far as a cheap beer down in Florida, well, at least down in Florida. Then I'd do some, I'd buy the 2 cases, buy the 3 cases, come home, load up the fridge, grab a couple, come up here to the studio, and I'm doing some editing and stuff. And I said, well, let's find out the history behind Natural Light. It used to be called, this is before Bud Light was even around, it used to be called Anheuser-Busch Natural Light. And I was like, okay, so it's made by Anheuser-Busch, and it was their answer for light beer. And it was a premium beer at the time. And then they came out with Budweiser Light, and the company said that they might be confused between the two, so they shortened the Bud Light name, the Budweiser Light, to Bud Light. And then Natural Light kind of took a back seat, and they removed the whole Anheuser-Busch off of the label and just called it Natural Light. But it was their light beer. It was their premium beer. And now, full circle, here I am. It was a cheap beer when I was 18, 19, 21 years old. And now here I am at 51 years old. I've come back full circle, and it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'm going to say I like this. I have to be careful, though. That little 1%, that 0.1% will sneak up on you, put you in a headlock, and then you forget that you texted someone the night before asking them if they're going to the Halloween Horror Nights, or not Halloween Horror Nights, Scarowinds, and that you're going to stay at their house and you're going to party all night long. That type deal. I know. We'll talk. I talked to Shane the other night, and he was wanting to go. So if you know about what Scarowinds is, we have Carowinds, and then we have Scarowinds. Anyways, I digress. So yeah, I don't know. This is a trial run, 3 cases. Let's see how it goes. And I'll give you an update next week. We're not wrapping up the show. I got a lot more to talk about. I actually today almost got arrested. Almost got arrested at Walmart. And I'll dive in that when we come back. So stick around, I'll be right back. It's not bad. It really isn't that bad. Tastes better than I thought it would. Or remember it would. So as I do, oops, sorry, hit the microphone there. So as I do every Friday, I make a list of all the stuff that we need for the week, and I venture into town. I'm allowed to roam free through this little town that we live in. So I make, my wife and I, she's home today working from her office, her home office here. So we're making a list. Okay, what are we eating this week? What are we making on Friday? Because we usually make one meal on Friday. We make another meal on Saturday, and then she makes one big meal on Sunday, and that lasts us all the way till, Wednesday, because it's just me and her and I, the two of us. And she's like, oh, I want to make this. I want kibasi. I want, Polish sausage. I'm wanting something. I'm craving it. So she's like, I got to make a casserole of some sort. So we're making a list, all the stuff I need, bars of soap. I've been using like all the spa soaps that you get free when you go to like hotels and stuff. And it's not holding up. Believe me, it's not holding up. So I'm making a list, and okay, we need that. We need a bar soap. I need, what else do I need? Meat, bread, that type of stuff. And, okay, I'm taking your car, babe. Now, she's been commuting to and from Charlotte every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And, she leaves early in the morning, comes home late at night. And her car, because of driving, it's an hour to get there, has succumbed to the elements of rain, mud, and all the stuff that we've been dealing with here in the Carolinas with all the storm that came through. We're fine. We're absolutely fine. Not to backtrack, but friends of ours who are actual next door neighbors in Florida, in the Orlando area, actually Deltona area, moved to Mobile, Alabama this past year. And she reached out to me and saying, hey, this is, Lourdes next door. Are you guys doing okay? We're like, yeah, we're doing all right. How are you? I heard that you moved up here. Oh, we're doing great. Blah, blah, blah. So, but her car, because of riding on the highway and all the rain and the mud and all that stuff, her car's filthy. So I know that's the least of everyone's problem over there in the Tennessee, Western Carolina type stuff. But I'm sorry. We chose to live here, and we just, luck of the draw. So her car's all muddy and stuff. So, and it's not like swamp tire muddy, but it's just, got dirt and shit, road film. So I take it up to go to solar wash. It's, I don't know, some kind of, they got solar panels out there that run everything, and hey, we're green, all right, fine. You're dumping gallons and gallons of water into our aquifer. Yeah, you're green. So it's $20 for the big package. Goddamn $20. And it doesn't do goddamn thing. It's got the neoprene things that flip around, and it's got the lights, and it says, ooh, you're getting this is your soft scrub, this is your hard scrub, this is your protective coating, now all the lights change colors. And it smells like sulfur. It's the same goddamn shit all the way down the thing. They're just spraying it. I can tell when they do the spot rinse, the spotless rinse, that water just goes, just beads right off. But I come out of the thing, and it says, relax. It's got the light. Relax, relax, relax. Thank you, and then go. It's green and blue light, and put your car in gear. And it's one of those places where if you get a car wash, you can get the thing vacuum. They got a vacuum cleaner, big hoses hanging out of the ceiling. So I'm vacuuming the car and stuff. And this place has a free floor mat wash. And which is kind of cool. It's it looks like an ice maker type thing, but it's got like a conveyor belt. So you put your mat on it, and it sucks it in, washes it, as it rolls through the rollers, and then pops it out on the bottom little rack underneath. Guy in front of me, I just got one, just the driver's side, because my wife's the only one that sits in the car. Sometimes she takes it when she goes to ride her horse and do the horse training and stuff, and sometimes she'll get in the car, and there'll be rocks and grit and kind of a little bit of mud on her feet, and I tell you, please clean your shoes before you get in the car. It's a big rubber mat, so I'm not worried about staining, just garbage. So I'm trying to vacuum as much as I can out, and I pop the mat out, and I walk over to the machine, and this guy's standing there. Young guy, and I say young guy, probably maybe just 26, 27 years old. Old enough to where He might have a kid. He might have a kid, but he's not married. And he's got this little Mitsubishi Mirage, a newer one, and maybe the baby or something spilled formula in the thing because he's running all his mats through this thing. So I'm standing there behind him, holding my one mat. You know, just whatever, driver's side mat, just that's all I got, rubber, that's all it is. And he's got the carpet mats, and he's running them. He runs them through. They all pop out. He's got his back to her, man. I kind of snuck up behind him. And he pulls the mats out, turns and looks at me, and then adjusts his body so he's not blocking me out. So we're kind of facing each other. He feels the mats, doesn't say hey, doesn't say fuck you, doesn't say nothing. Feels his mats, which are carpet, runs them through again. And I'm like, literally, I'm sitting there like holding someone's lunchbox, waiting at the bus stop. He runs his mats through again. And then he pulls them out, feels them, he's touching them. And then there's a switch, I guess it goes from wash to dry, runs them through again. I'm like, all right, guy. Here I am, Mr. Impatience. I got one mat. I would have said, courtesy, hey, man, go ahead and run yours through. These aren't dry yet. It's going to take me a couple times to run this through. Nothing. Zippo. Didn't say a goddamn thing to me. Now, I don't know if it's because I was white. Cracker. I'll clean my mats. It's my turn to clean my mats. Or he just had no comprehension that, hey, you know, I got to run my mats through here 4 or 5 times to get them where I need to be. You've got one mat. Can you just run yours through once? Yeah, man, I'll just run through once. Even if it came out half-ass, I would have gone, that'd been fine. I'm good. You let me go, I'm fine. But he didn't. He didn't say, you know, nothing. Fucking looked at me, not stared at me, looked at me, I'm staring at him. And, you know, he puts the mats through, and he puts them through again like a third time, and the fourth time he's doing the dry, and I'm like, I'm literally, like I said, lunchbox in my hand. Then he gets, and he grabs his mats. Instead of just like turning and walking away from the thing, he's standing there kind of shuffling his feet, feeling the mats and stuff like he's thinking about doing it one more time. And I said, no, I'm sorry, bud. I just, in my mind, I took one big long step to the machine, this ice maker looking machine with all the little rolly things on it. And I stuck my mat in there, and I don't use this thing all the time. So of course I stuck it through, and it was on dry because he left it on dry. I didn't know. I can't fucking read. So the mat comes out and it looks like shit. No, so now I got to put it back through and I go, oh, I'm reading the instructions. Step 1, pick if you want wash or dry. Okay, dumbass, switch it over to wash. Step 2, press the start. And I got to put the mat through again. And then it comes out the bottom. And then I'm looking around. Mitsubishi Mirage guy's putting his, he's got his music blaring. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, we all love that song. Everyone here in the parking lot, you like this song? This guy must be a DJ. That's how cool he is. He wants everyone to hear his shit. Fucking moron. Are those days gone? I guess not. And my mat comes out. It's all clean and everything. And I look at it, it's like, it's kind of wet. It's kind of wet. And I look around. Nobody's behind me. Nobody's around. Nobody's waiting for this thing. Switch it over to dry. Put the mat in. Runs it through the things, and you can hear it go like those Dyson things that you see at the theme parks. Ooh. And Matt comes out, and I walk over to the car, and I'm like, oh, there's still some more vacuuming stuff underneath it. So I did a little vacuum, put the mat in there, and then I was on about my shopping experience. I mean, come on. It's no different if you got a shopping cart full of food and the guy behind you's got like Enfamil and a Mountain Dew in his hand or something like that. You know, he's just in there to grab something quick and get out of there. Yeah, go ahead, man. Go in front of me. No, this guy was clueless. And I don't know if it's because I was white and he was black. He was a black man. But what the black community would call a red bone. Do you know what a red bone is? Yeah. Don't ask me. Ask your black friend that you call. Go ahead and text him now. All right. When we come back, when I went to Walmart, I almost got arrested. And it was the actual employee's fault, actually. It was her fault that I almost got arrested. So stick around. I'll be right back. I think I'm digging it. Yeah, I think I'm digging I think I might switch. I think I'll make the switch. And if you'd like to sponsor me, that'd be great. Natural Light. If you'd like to sponsor me. And it's weird when you drink one beer and drink another beer, you know what to expect. I'm not going to make this all about beer talk or anything like that, but there's a different feeling that you get when you drink like liquor. Like my wife will make a margarita, and I'll take just a bare little sip of it because like tequila or anything like that makes you have a different buzz than like beer does. And for whatever reason, when I was drinking these the other day, the Natural Lights, I felt a little different. If that makes any sense. So I don't know. I might stick with this. I'll finish out these 3 cases, and then we'll go from there and see what's going on. My wife has been approved for Ozempic, only because she's not a big girl by any means. She's very proportionate. She's a tall woman. She's a big woman. Big woman. I say big. She's tall. She's 5'9" with heels on. Me and her are almost like eye level. She's a very she's always had like broad shoulders. She's a horse rider. She's a physically active and stuff. She's a big woman. She's not like big fat like out of proportion. She's got nice hips. She's got a nice little waist. She's got nice big boobs, and then her clavicle, this part right here. It's awesome. She's an awesome woman. I don't marry like I do it all the time. I wouldn't marry an ugly woman. Nope, sorry. But she just wants to slim down just a little bit because she's now getting into the horse training circuit, and she really does not have time to sit there and work out. I told her, she leaves the house at 7 o'clock in the morning. She doesn't come home until 9 o'clock at night, and that's almost every day. And even if she's working from home, she starts her job. And she signs on by 8 o'clock, and she's in that room in her office until 8:30 at night, because she deals with California time too. So that's why most of the time that's why it's so long. So she just wants a little something to help her, lose a little weight. So when she's doing the thing, the training and stuff, she can be a little bit more comfortable in what she's wearing and how she's moving and all that stuff. So she's on Ozempic. This is her 2nd week, and one of the things that she needs, they tell her, one, you might get a little constipated. So she drinks her smoothies in the morning, which is basically all fiber: blueberries, strawberries, banana. We put a little Metamucil in there. I actually put Metamucil in my stuff, so it's delicious. By the way, I'll get the Trotskys for about an hour, but still. It's better than being all plugged up inside. And she'll put a little protein powder in there, so she has her grams of protein. But one of the things they say to her, and we talked about a little bit a couple podcasts ago, she needs to eat in the middle of the day. You have to eat. You have to keep your metabolism going, even if it's just something small, like a handful of cashews or something like that. Just eat something. So she was doing the meat wraps. She likes that. She's like, I'll do meat wraps. Now she's doing cottage cheese and mandarin oranges in the cottage cheese. But for her to eat, you have to force her to eat. So we're sitting there making the list of all the grocery stuff that we need. All right, babe, what do you need this week for your snacks, your in-between snacks? And she's making the list and stuff. So I got my list. We're going to make, raviolis tonight or something like that, and some kind of kielbasa this weekend. And so I go off into town with my shopping list, and I get into and I do my routes, and I go through, and I'm like, oh, look, Busch Light. They fill up the shelves here. Might as well. I mean, while you're here, just saying. Might as well pick up a couple cases so I don't have to drive to the store, which the closest store from us, if I run out, is 8 to 10 miles away, depending on which direction I go. So grab a couple cases of beer. I got a shopping list, work my way through the cold section, then all the way to the front, and then I get to the front of the store, the bakery area, grab a couple pieces or loaves of bread, and I head up to the registers. Now, our Walmart, they do have the self-checkouts, which is great. I love it. And they also have at least 6 registers open because people have to buy like cigarettes. They have to buy stuff that physically someone has to get them. It's Carolinas, big smoking community. I mean, there literally is Winston and Salem, 2 name brand tobacco producers in our state. So a lot of smokers here in the Carolina. So I go through self-checkout. Let me let me start this first. Normally, I get to Walmart between 10 and 11 o'clock in the morning. Because I went to the car wash, because I had to stand behind that guy with the goddamn floor mats and stuff, I had to go down to Target and get something else too. The Soda Stream canisters, I had to go down there and grab those, swap those out. They were out before. And then I made my way to Walmart. I'm a little behind. I'm about 45 minutes behind schedule. Yes, I keep track of schedule because I gotta do the show. I gotta edit the show. I gotta get everything done before dinner tonight, and that all snowballs together. I'm on a time frame here. There is a different crew of people in that 45-minute swing. Normally, when I'm there at Walmart, it's all old people and Latin families, like Mexican family. We have a big Mexican community in our town here because there's a lot of processing plants. Tyson's here, Purdue Chicken's here, and there's a lot of production plants as well. All your PVC pipe that you see that says Charlotte PVC pipe on it, it comes out of this area where we live. So there's a lot of blue collar workers that are in there early in the morning getting their shit done. Now, I get there a little bit late. Like I said, let's say an hour. Just call it an hour. I get there an hour late, walk in the doors. It's a different atmosphere. This is where the trailer park people come out. And they're buying like I buy beer. They got, no lie, shopping carts full of Dr. Thunder and what's the Walmart version of Mountain Dew Lightning? It's Lightning something. Mountain Lightning. And I'm talking no sugar-free, no diet, full high-octane, sugar imploded Dr. Thunder and Mountain Lightning in their carts. And must have been 10 of them. Different people, not all together. 10 people with all this stuff. And then I see oh God, that sounded horrible. It's like a race shift. Because when I'm there in the morning, when I get there early, it's people like me, white people. Oh, Jesus, I think I'm digging this ditch really deep. It's white families. I say family. It's usually a mom and the daughter and maybe 2 kids or something like that, or a husband or a father and his boy or something like that, or something like a church group or something like that. And Mexican families. Now, with that 1 hour difference, it's all trailer park people and black. A lot of black people are in there during that time. And I'm like going, I've never seen these people before. Because normally when I'm there at 10 o'clock, I see the same people all the time. They're on the same schedule that I am. And this 1 hour shift, I see a different group of people. And not that I have anything against it. I'm not going to say, I got to get there before the darkies get there. I got to get there before, trailer mama gets there. No, it was just a different atmosphere. It was just different. I'm like, oh, okay. So we do have a melting pot of people in this community because I don't get to see that side of it because I live out in the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, every time I go there, I'm like, oh, it's just the same Mexican and same single dads in the same area. No, it was a whole different experience as far as the whole atmosphere as far as relations. No, race and not religion. That's why I guess I was kind of mumbling that up. It was just different. It was just very, very different. Now, here I go with my shopping cart, and I go to check out, and I love self-checkout. It took me a while to get used to it, and usually I can get right into one. I'm standing behind this guy who's 80-something years old. He's like Jimmy Carter, by himself. You can tell that he's a widower, and he's scanning. Dude, he's got 18 things in his cart. Dude, puts it in his cart. Puts another item up there. He doesn't understand the barcode system. He just kind of sets it on the scanner and just spins the box around until it beeps. He picks it up, sets it in the car. Very nice, well-dressed man. He's got the button-up long sleeve shirt like you would wear to church. It's got like the little pinstripes, the blue and whatever, light blue pinstripes up and down and left and right and stuff. Real small. puts a thing of grapes up there. And now you want to talk about people stealing? You can also chalk up to, I don't understand how to use this thing. So old man Jimmy Carter in front of me puts the grapes up on the thing and looks at the screen. And it says, look up. I know what it says. I've seen the screen a million times, but I'm standing behind him, so I see it pop up, and it says, look up item, press here. He puts the grapes up on there, looks at it, then takes the grapes off and sticks it in his bag. I'm like, this motherfucker just stole 4 pounds of red seedless grapes. That's got to be $8. He's going down. I'm telling. No, but it was just something that stuck up. So he checks out and he waves at me. He's like, sorry it took so long. And I'm like, nah, dude, you're fine. You're fine. Keep building houses. So I push my cart up there and I go through the whole thing. I know exactly. I got everything, I'm time frame here. I know what I'm doing. All my cans in the front of the cart, scan those, put those in the bottom, all that stuff. And then I start scanning the beer, and start scanning the wine that my wife needs. Needs. Listen to me. And I'm scanning the wine. She's going to be out of town for 4 days. Travis, why does she need all that wine? You never know. Might have a party. So now that I'm an hour behind schedule, I have the normal girl when I'm there. Always comes up to me. Hey, honey. Hey, how are you doing? You doing all right? Oh, I'm doing good. And she, scans her phone thing, and types in whatever she needs, types on, and I'm gone. She sees me a million times. Because now I'm on shift change. This huge woman, big black woman. And the reason why I say black woman, it's not because she's black. It's just because her attitude, her not bad, not good or bad or anything, just the way she talks. So I want to clarify that. She comes up to me, and I always wait to scan the beer and stuff last. I'm scanning everything. How many did you buy? And she comes around me. Hey, darling. I'm like, hey, good morning. How are you? Or good afternoon, I guess, at this point. She's like, I'm good. I need to see your driver's license, please. And I go, no problem. Pull out my wallet, open it up, take my driver's license out. I hand it to her. She looks at it and goes, thank you, honey. And she's like, I'm just trying to do my job. Just trying to do, this is my job. This is what I'm supposed to do. I got cameras on me all the time. She's explaining this. I go, look, I understand. I said, I understand. She's like, well, you'd be surprised who don't understand. There was one woman here. I knew she was 60 years old, but I got to ask her ID, and she got all upset at me and told me that I'm 60 years old. I've never been carded. Blah 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 blah. And the black cashier lady kept continuing and said, I don't even pay no mind. I don't even answer them. I just keep going. License, please. License, please. It takes two to tango. I didn't want to. She wanted to argue with me. I didn't say no. I just give me a license. And she was pitching a fit, trying to get her wallet out. And she's telling me this whole story. I said, well, good for you. I said, you're doing your job. You're doing a great job doing it. And I stick my wallet back in my pocket. And I said, have a great day. I hope you have, whatever, pleasant day tomorrow, whatever my sign off was when I was leaving her. And I start pushing my cart. And she goes, hey, honey, you still got to pay. I go, what? Oh, shit. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, you almost got me arrested. She like, I did not. I said, you did. I said, because in my mind, I already pulled my wallet out and my mind folded it back up and put it back in my pocket. I took my license out and then put the license back in. So that motion, that chain reaction, my mind already says, dude, you're already paid. That's the end of your transaction. That's the only time your wallet comes out. That's the only time you put it away is when you're done. So I was like, 10 feet away from the cash register. Another lady was coming up behind me, getting ready to pull her stuff on there. And she was like, hey, you got to pay. I said, oh, shit. So ran over there real quick, put my card on there, and she's helping other people. And I'm like, you almost got me arrested. I didn't do nothing. You just She's like, all right, honey, I just want no one to, catch you at the door or anything like that. I said, now I'm going to have people watching me from now on. She starts laughing. And so, yeah, I almost got arrested. But that's the way it was, You do something so often and so, all the time. And you've got a schedule and you've got a routine. And that, in my mind, pulling that wallet out and just showing her my license and us chit-chatting back and forth, my mind didn't realize it was a license. There's something wrong with me, I guess. Natural light, probably. And I put my license back in there, closed my wallet up, thinking that I paid, and pushed out the door. Nope. She stopped me, so I'm good to go. I go for a walk, as you guys know. Go for 4 miles. I'm doing good. There was a girl or family, a couple. I met the wife on the walk, and then I was eventually hoping to meet the husband later on, because they're a young couple and stuff like that. I'll get into this weird story as far as, I don't know, something happened. Something's not right with them. And I'll dive into that when we come back. So stick around. I'll be right back. One of the meals that my wife and I made last week was Salisbury steaks. I like Salisbury steaks. Reminds me of high school. And I worked for a company for a couple years. And it's a small company. We only had like maybe 15 employees in the building. And the general manager would buy everyone steaks. And unfortunately, being the operations manager that I was in charge of cooking the steaks on this grill, big grill that we had. And I got tired of, I didn't want to do this. Hated the company. So when she went around, what kind of cut of steak do you want? And everyone, filet, ribeye, New York strip, filet. I'd always go, I just want Salisbury steak. I want the frozen pan that's got 8 of them in it. That's what I want. Really? That's what I want. Why? Because I don't get it at home. Really? Yeah. Yes. Is there a problem? No, I just figured you'd like I said I can buy a ribeye anytime I want. I can go to a nice restaurant and have a ribeye and have a professional cook it. I can go anywhere and have a nice center cut filet mignon and have a professional cook this steak. I don't want that. I don't want to cook a steak like that for me. I'll do it at home. I won't do it for myself. I said, give me the thing. It's Swanson's or something like that. It's a foil and there's like 8 of them in there. It's like the family pack. And I would throw it on the grill and let it just heat up, the bubble in the gravy and everything. And I'd sit there at this big long table and everyone's, oh, the steak, Trav, you did a great job cooking these steaks. What are you eating over there? I'm cutting it in this tin, like Swanson's TV dinner. I said, I got a Salisbury steak. Really? Why? Because I fucking want it. That's why. All right? God damn it. Oh, you could have got a filet mignon. No. But we were watching, and this is back in 2015 or something like that. So I left there. I only lost a couple of years there. I'm too opinionated. But my wife and I were going through TikTok, and we were trying to figure out meals to make and stuff for the week, and she came across a Salisbury steak, like a homemade Salisbury steak. And I said, ooh, I think I'd like it. I've never had a homemade Salisbury steak. She's like, all right, I'll make it. And it's kind of like making a meatloaf, kind of. There's egg and breadcrumbs. But the thing is, you make them in oval, not in round or a loaf. You make them in oval patties, and you use a big cast iron skillet to, caramelize them up. And there's sugar in there, and make them all caramelized and stuff. Now, I have a 20-inch, whatever this is right here. If you're watching this on the YouTube video. No, it can't be 20 inch. 20 inches like that. Probably a 13-inch Lodge. No, it's got to be bigger than that. It's got to be 16. It's huge. It won't even fit in the kitchen sink. That's how big it is. So let's say 16, 18 inches. Let's go with that, right? And it is heavy. Jesus Christ. And we only break it out a couple times a year. And the recipe that my wife found was called for the cast iron skillet. So she's making the hamburgers, making the Salisbury steaks, and we're patting them up, and put all the mixture and everything in there, and you mealed it with your hands, and then shape it and form it, and then and you're getting a nice crust on the outside, and you flip it over, and then you make your gravy, however you make gravy. I didn't watch what she was doing, but there's cornstarch and flour, and you add all this other stuff into it, and then you pour it into the skillet. The big cast iron skillet, and then you let it just simmer, let it bubble together, let that gravy get nice and thick and syrupy, and I know everyone out there is starving right now. And then you make like mashed potatoes and then like a side vegetable or something like that. So usually I on the weekends, if we do big meals like that, I'll invite my dad, because my dad, everything he eats is frozen breakfast, frozen lunch, frozen dinner. Lunch he does okay. He gets like potato salad and eats that, and that's his lunch. He's 78 years old. Huh? So one thing that my dad does to contribute to the household is that he agrees to clean the kitchen up. Now, we don't make a mess between my wife and I. We try not to make a mess. If we make something like a sandwich or something, we'll put everything away. We'll wipe the counter down. We're not animals. But if we make a dinner or something like that, and there's multiple dishes and utensils and stuff that used to create that dinner, we'll put them in the sink. He'll put them in the dishwasher. He'll run the dishwasher and then put them all away. And we always play this game as, where Dad put the whatever tool, where Dad put the whatever utensil. Now he's getting better at it. He's got his own system now. But that cast iron skillet, I don't know if my dad can pick it up. So I took it, and once we cleaned everything up and stuff, it still had that residue, the gravy residue in there. We scooped it out and put it in a Tupperware dish. So there's still that little residual stuff that's in there. So I take we have granite countertops. So I take a kitchen towel, and I put it on down first, and I take the cast iron skillet, put it on top of that, and then I put a little soap. Dish soap in there and water, and let it just kind of sit there for a minute. I know everyone's freaking out. You got to clean that. It's going to rust. No. I'm getting there. I'm going to. I just need to soften the gravy up. So I go away, and I had, for whatever reason, or not whatever reason, I know exactly. I had a show I had to do. If you're watching this, oh God, what the hell is that? Fucking stink bugs. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, I had to do that show right there. And so the pan sat there for an hour or two, and went in there after the show, after doing the editing and stuff, and my dad has cleaned it and actually did the whole where you rub it down, heat it up and rub it down with oil and stuff, because we bought him like a real small one for his hamburgers and stuff. I'm like going, Dad, you can't put this in the dishwasher. It's going to rust. So he knows how to take care of a cast iron skillet, but I didn't think he could lift it up. Well, I know he couldn't lift it up because I told him, I said, Dad, I really appreciate you cleaning that. I said, I would have done it. He's like, oh, you guys made the meal. I was going to clean it up. I said, but Dad, that thing's heavy. Oh, I know. It's real heavy. And I look at the kitchen sink. Kitchen sink is mounted up underneath the granite countertop. And I said, you have to be careful with this cast iron skillet, Dad. I said, because I've got a little chip right here where I was trying to clean it in the sink. And as I'm showing him the chip in the granite countertop, like right there on the edge of the sink, there's 3 more on the other side. I'm like, oh, fuck. And I said, did you try to clean this in the sink? He goes, yep. I said, there's 3 chips right here. He goes, uh-huh. He goes, I tried to keep it on the towel. I go, it didn't work, Dad. I said, no. And he kind of just did this number like, oh, well. I go, well. The countertops aren't indestructible. I didn't expect him to clean the now, thank you. I know, you're so ungrateful. No. I appreciate him doing the thing, but stay within your limits. Stay within your boundaries. If you can't lift that thing up and clean it, don't lift it up and clean it. Yeah, sure enough, I've got a nice, a chip, where I did it And I knew, I was like, well, I'll never clean this in the sink again. I should have said that to him. I didn't know he was going to take this upon himself, because that cast iron skillet with water, in it easily weighs 15 pounds. And he can't lift that. He has no muscle mass on him at all. So I showed him, I'm like, Dad, you just chipped the counter like 3 more times, Oh, sorry. Fucking not my house. That type deal. So I go for a walk every morning. Every morning. I've only missed 2 days. No, I take that back. I've missed 1 day in the last month, and that's because the Hurricane Helene came through. And it was just ugly out. So over the last 30, 40, 50, 60 days, I've missed 1 day. I get up. Now, sometimes I'll get out there at 8 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I've got the equine show that I do right there. That one right there, I do on Monday. So that eats up my Monday morning. So I don't get out there until about 11:30 in the afternoon. Hold on. Stink bugs are coming around now. So when I first started walking, I was doing it I started in March because I was trying to get ready for the cruise trip that we were going on. I knew there was going to be a lot of walking, and I'm pretty much sedentary, sitting here in the studio all day long. So I said I need to get in shape. Not necessarily I'm out of shape, but I just need to get into, some kind of cardio in. So second or third week that I'm out there walking, I met the people on the corner of the next road over. Brand new house. They built it, I think, like 6-7 years ago. She's got like a little flower garden that she works on out there, and she sells like bouquet flowers on the side of the road. She's got a little stand, flowers, Mother's Day, And as I'm walking one day, she's out there setting up her stand, and I said, hey, I'm your neighbor right there, the yellow house with the horses and stuff. Hi, my name's Holly. Hi. She probably, I was going to say early 40s, maybe late 30s. Short, 5'2", 5'3", long brown hair. Not heavy set, but you could tell that she might have had a kid. That type shaped body. Listen, you're so judgmental. I know I am. Yeah, I see you out here walking on time. You've inspired me. I think I've said this before. You've inspired me to get out here and walk with you. And we got talking and stuff. She's like, yeah, I live here with my husband, and my mom visited us from Sarasota, and she was up here, and blah, blah, blah. All right, well, okay. See you later. And then weeks go by. I see Holly now and then, rarely, now and then out there in her garden. Here in the last 45 days, I have not seen her car. I have not seen her like out there working, because she would work out on the weekends. She'd get out there and trim and prune and do all this stuff. And I have not seen any action, any movement in the house at all. I see him now and then, and he's got a big, like a Tundra, Toyota Tundra or something like that, big white one. I see his car in the driveway all the time, and it's always parked like he knows no one else is coming home. It's like parked like diagonal and stuff. So I'm like, oh, maybe her car, she's got like a minivan. Maybe the car's in the garage. Then I go by, walk the next day, I go by, he's out there in the garage doing something. He's got the garage wide open, nothing. And there's stuff in the garage where her car normally sits that he's moved over to take over her spot. Like she's not coming back. Like she's not around type deal. Like he's working, he's got tools and stuff, and I'm like going, oh, I wonder if she's gonna be able to pull her car in there. This is the way I think. And next day I go by, nothing. Don't see her minivan. Don't see her. And he's still got stuff, tools and stuff in the middle. He's got his lawnmower in there. So I'm like sitting there going, I don't want to. Is this going to be a Netflix special? Is because I've seen him without her at all. he's been out there mowing. They got a corner lot, so it's huge. It's got like 3 acres. So he's out there on his riding lawnmower going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And when I'm doing my walking and stuff, he kind of, he's on a 0 turn, so he's kind of like head down. He's got his, whatever, headphones on and stuff. He's got a big hat and sunglasses and some kind of, I don't know, shirt that has flaps. I don't know. He's very, very in the zone type deal. And I always wave, hey, how are you doing? And I always get this. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, This is 50 show, I always get this. Just a, hey. Because he's riding, just kind of, hey. Just, he's riding. And the more and more time goes by, the worse and worse the yard and the worse and worse, sir, the flowers are, because it's rows of gardening flowers. And I don't know. I haven't seen her. I haven't seen her in at least 45 days, if not 60 days. I have not seen her at all. The car, her, or any work being done outside in the garden. Everything's dying out there. So I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna be a Netflix special because he's got no personality. I see him out there all the time in the garage working, and I always kind of I try to make myself notice. Turning my head and looking at the direction and looking and walking, and I pass by his house at least 8 times because I got to go up and then down and up and down. I do it 4 times, so I'll pass by his house 8 times in an hour. Nothing. Not a hey, no, fuck you. Get off my lawn. Nothing. So I don't know. I haven't seen her. When I do, I'll let you guys know. Yep, I know. I had some issues with my podcast server, and I put in like a ticket for it, which is what we do here as professionals. And I was really surprised at what happened when my ticket came up. So I'll dive into that story when we come back. So stick around. I'll be right back. So I don't know if you guys know this or not. I try not to plug it as... I try to make the show not as commercial as possible, but there's no getting around it. So I apologize if, you're just looking for an escape and just wanted to hear someone talk about what it's like to be, a male, 51-year-old male, trying to get through life and trying to get through stuff. Maybe, hopefully this is therapy for you as it is for me. I say this all the time in every show. This is my therapy of getting things out so I don't explode in the house. No, really. My wife always goes, have a good show, get it all out. I'm like, all right. So I do on Mondays, I do a equine show with a very, very world famous farrier. Now that doesn't sound like much to you, but in the horse community, your farrier is your number one person that you want to make sure that your horse's feet are 100% taken care of. And that means if you got to adjust for any kind of motions or anything on your horse, it's not moving right, the farrier is the one to do it. And it's called Equine Dynamics right there, if you're watching this on the YouTube channel. So if you're interested in listening to that, go right ahead. And then I do the other entertainment show. The entertainment show that I use, or that I have, is it's been on the air for 10 years now, coming up on 11. And I get requests all the time for advertisements. I work with a third-party affiliate company, and they send me like a record label will come over and say, hey, we got this new artist. They're dropping a new this. Can you do this and do this? What can you what's the price and all that stuff? So that's how I make my money on the entertainment show. And I came across this one guy, and I can understand, but he is a French guy, because the entertainment show broadcasts all over the place. He goes, do you broadcast in French-speaking countries? I say, yeah, we broadcast in Canada, and we do have some listen. That's the show right there. We do have some listeners in France as well. He's like, great, and this is all through never voice. It's always through texts and emails. he goes, I've got a new song that's coming out with my record label, and the record label hooked up with them, and they gave me all the information. But he's the artist, and he got a hold of me, and he's like going, now my name is pronounced weird. There is not an English version of my name. So I want to make sure that when you promote it, you say it right, and so everyone can understand. I said, okay, fine. My name is... He spells it for me. Geoffroy. Now, us being Americans, Geoff is Jeff. People will say Geoff, but it's the French version of Jeff, Geoff. But you always pronounce it Jeff. And the last part of his name, it's all one word, but the last part is R-O-Y, Roy. So I said to him, I'm writing him back, and I said, so is it pronounced Jeff Roy or Jeffrey? He said, no, neither. I'm thinking, okay, French. God, why didn't I take that class, my second semester, and why didn't I take it? He's pronounced, and he sent me the actual link, and he says it's pronounced Je suis. I said, what? Je suis. I said, okay. He goes, make sure, in this email, I'm doing the French, make sure you pronounce it as Je suis musique. And he's putting Geoffroy in the subtitle there. All right, Je suis. I said, you understand that, 85% of our audience is English speaking. Yes, but, and emails back and forth. Yes, but they will not know Jeff Roy or Jeffrey. The French people will know Je suis. Okay, Je suis. Are you sure this is? I said, do you want the music, or is it Je suis or Je suis music, or is it musée? I don't know what he wants me to say. He's like, no, it's Je suis musique. I'm like, okay, great. So I'm thinking, great, Je suis music. So he sends a song over, and I gotta do all the metadata and stuff because they don't fucking know. Record labels are so dumb sometimes. He sends the song over. I'm going to play it for you so you can hear it. He sends the song over, and I'm listening to it. I'm putting all the metadata in there, so when it pops up on the screen, it's got Je suis music and, who it's by and producer and all that stuff. It automatically fills. They just send me like a MP3 music clip and stuff with the info, and I got to plug all that shit in. That's why I charge them hundreds of dollars to do this shit. So here is Je suis music. He was so adamant about the way we went back and forth, how to pronounce his name, because it's only for this music for people who speak French and so on and so forth. I want to make sure that the French community knows it's Je suis and music. So I'm thinking, all right, great, got it, bud. It's a love song. It's whatever. Only French people are going to understand this. Here's the song. It's called Air Raid. Now, I'm not getting paid for any advertisement on this show because he's already paid me, so I have free carte blanche to use this music. Here's a song. Okay. Great beginning. Uh-huh. All right. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, and... Oh, okay. A little longer. Here we go. Ready? 2, 3, 4, and... Okay. All right. Got that part. You got that down solid. The whole entire track has absolutely no words. There's no words at all. Je suis music. No. I want my French people community to understand. I am Francois or Je suis, and this is my song, Air Raid or Arad or Soir. I don't know. There's no fucking words. You could have put fucking Penelope butt plug in there and would have had a better I'm so serious about my music. There's no words in your music. So, but I had a hard time filling out. I say filling out. I filled out a ticket for my server. Now, I use a company called Blueberry. If you guys are interested in using Blueberry, I just want to say, after the incident that happened, they're top notch. And the reason why I say that is I've been with Blueberry for over, I think, 8 years now. And when I have a ticket or something, you know, something's not, how do I line this up and stuff? It's always an email back and whatnot. Mike is the founder and one of the co-founders. His name's Mike. I forget what his last name is. I had a problem where one of the episodes that I was uploading would not take. And I was like going, oh, fuck, am I doing it wrong? You know, a couple natural lights. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm like, all right, Travis, pay attention to what you're doing. What are you clicking on? What are you doing wrong? Try it again. Upload it again. Try it again. Upload it again. Nothing. It's always stuck. It's not going to the server. It's not recognizing it. I've changed the name. I changed the format. I changed all that stuff. Could not get it to work. I said, all right, finally, I'm going to break down and put in a ticket for this through Blueberry. So I type into Blueberry, hey, you know, my name, this and here's the podcast, here's my ID number and stuff like that. Within an hour and a half, well, not within, an hour and a half later, I get a phone call. Not a scam phone call because it says, you know, verified number, and I pick it up. He's like, hi, is Travis there? And I go, yeah, this is Travis. And I automatically recognize his voice. Because I watch his tutorials, his videos and stuff. Have you got problems with this and what we're adding? And I listen to his podcast because he's a very informational guy. Hey, this is Mike over at Blueberry. Hey, Mike, what are you calling me for? Well, I was just sitting out here and I had I got your email and stuff and I'm waiting for my plane to board, and we're flying out to California. We're doing a whole podcast seminar with the whole new additives, and he was giving me the whole spiel and stuff. He goes, so what do we got going on here? And I said, Mike, man, I'm trying to upload this thing. And he goes, oh, let me see. Oh, yeah, you got several podcasts on here. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Oh, you've been doing it for a long time. He's like, you know, buttering me up, and he's like, oh, wow, you got a lot of followers. Great. That's good. He's looking at it, and he's like, so let me see here. Hold on. I'm going in the back page and going in the back. Okay. Now, refresh your screen. See if that's fixed it. Refresh the screen. Mike, it's fixed. He's like, okay. He's like, wow, that's really weird. He goes, I seen you trying to post it like 4 or 5 times. I said, yeah, Mike, I didn't know what to do. He says, okay. Well, I hope I'm going to put in a request ticket order on my end to make sure that they keep an eye on your account to make sure that this doesn't happen. And if it does happen, I'll put notes in what I had to do to fix it and stuff. Is there anything else I can help you with? I said, Mike, I appreciate, man. I said, you didn't have to call me. He's like, because of I guess the money I'm spending on the oh, no, you get priority critical care customer and stuff. You guys, you've been with us for, you know, over 8 years now, and most of your podcasts are, you know, 6 years, and they got thousands. You are not number one, but, you know, he's telling me all this stuff, and I said, Mike, appreciate it, thank you very much. That is customer service. Hung up the phone. I said, God damn, I actually ran into my wife with my natural light and going, babe, guess who just called me? She's like, who? I go, Mike from Blueberry. She's like, who the fuck is Mike and what the hell's a blueberry? I go, no, you don't understand. And I tried to get, I said, you don't even get me. You don't even know what I do. She's like, you don't even know what I do. I go, I know. You're right. So if you're out there, if you're watching the video, drop us a comment down below. I know I'm being one of those guys, you know, Mr. Beast type guys. No, but if you want to, if you want to do a podcast and you're not sure who to go with as far as where your podcast lives to be distributed between, you know, iHeartradio, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher's not around anymore, but all those other platforms, they take care of you 100%. At least on my end, they did. Let me know, and I think there's a discount credit or something. I don't know. I had to look it up, but It's blueberry, and it's not the way you normally spell it, and I'll put it in the description here. But yeah, great service, customer service. Mike himself called me, so I thought that was interesting. All right, guys. I'm going to let you get back to doing what you got to do. Thanks for listening to me work all this stuff out. Okay, see you, bye. Bye. There's my promo.